Sharp Game here, coming at you with another episode from ChooseYourRelationships.com, off of Love Can Wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the 7 deal breakers with women. And P.S. and by the way, I got the new cups, Wizard of Game cups. If you can see these, the Wizard of Game cups. If you go to my website, just click the link below. And I got all the gear, cups, everything there. All accessories, hoodies. Everything's there, man. Just go check it out. So, I'm going to give you the 7 deal breakers with women. And these 7 deal breakers, after meeting thousands and thousands and thousands of people, and women included, over my past 25 years, and I still meet a lot of people today. There's certain things that's just tacky. That's just it's kind of low class. The things that women say. If you've been living as long as I have, if you're at the age of, if you're in your late 20s, you've heard women say certain things to you, or you heard it said to some other guy, and it kind of made you cringe. You're like, whoa, what? That type of stuff. Certain things you hear, you're like, what the hell that's about? That's kind of crazy, right? And this is what I'm talking about. These are my 7 deal breakers. And the first thing is, if a woman asks you what kind of car you got, I'm talking the first day you meet her, and let's say you're at the table, dinner table, or at a restaurant, or wherever you at, and she asks you, out of the blue, hey, what kind of car you drive? You're like, what? She's just trying to see what's up with your pockets. See what your pockets like, basically, when they do that. Just think about that for a second. You're at the table eating, drinking, whatever. Maybe you're at a park. I don't care where you're at. And all of a sudden, a woman asks, hey, what kind of car you drive? I'm like, what? Why is that important right now? What that has to do with me personally? What that has to do with you? How's the car going to equate to you? So, and then even if you're checking for my pockets, just because the money's in my pockets, that doesn't mean it's going to trickle down to you. Unless you try and trap me in some type of way. But if it's the first day, or first date, or first week of meeting you, it doesn't really mean anything. But this is the low class, unintelligent way of thinking for a lot of people out here. So if a woman asks you about what kind of car you got, just keep it moving. And the second thing is, if she asks how much money you make, come on, but how do you even? I think I had someone ask me that one time, and let me tell you what I did. I'm not recommending you do this. I recommend you do this. But when she asked me how much money I made, I was ready to leave. And what I did, probably about 10 minutes after that question, I said, hey, I'm going to the restroom, right? I went to the restroom, and I never went back to the table. When I left the restroom, I left that bar, and I was gone, and I never saw her again. Now, I don't recommend you do this. Now, see, when I was younger, and when I used to have these altercations or or when things started to go in a way that I didn't like, I didn't know how to handle it back then. I was real immature. So what I used to do, if things start not going in the way I would like, I used to just go to the restroom, and hopefully, most of the time, luckily, I didn't. The table was never near the restroom. The table was like on the other side, or if we're at the bar, the restroom was kind of away from the bar, so I could easily slip out after I left the restroom. So I used to leave, man. I've done that like at least 5 times. Now I don't recommend you do that. I recommend you just say, hey, you know what? I don't think this. I don't think we're compatible people. I don't think this date is going that well. So it's nice meeting you. You know, good luck. That's what you should say. Now, back then, I didn't have anyone to tell me that. I didn't have anyone to tell me that back then. But as I got older, someone told me that, hey, don't dip out like that. Just tell the person that, hey, things aren't going as well as you would like. Obviously, So hey, that's just part ways. Nice meeting you. Wish the person well and move on. So if a woman asks you how much money you make, just be cordial. You don't gotta be an asshole, and just be polite. Wish her well, and keep it moving. So the next thing, if a woman asks you if you if you want kids, it's kind of like, why would you ask that so early? I mean, what are what are you trying to get? You trying to get married? Or are you trying to see if I'm a good prospect for marriage? Or I mean, what's that about? That's just not. Yeah, I just never really got that. I've been asked that a few times as well, and I really didn't. The first time I got asked that, I really take it as an insult or something that wasn't necessarily polite until somebody told me about about what that could have been really all about. So you know I mean, if a woman asks you, do you want children, it's like, okay, whatever, just keep it moving. And if a woman asks you, what do you want in a woman? Now this is a big one, because if a woman asks you what you want in a woman, I mean, why would she ask that? She wants to become the woman that you want. She wants to become a shift shaper. It's kind of like she wants to find out what kind of woman you like, what turns you on, so she can take on those habits, or at least try to anyway, or at least try and demonstrate. So that type of question is kind of like a trick question in a sense, because if somebody asks, if a woman asks what you want in a woman, and if she's sitting down in front of you, and she's trying to get to know you and date you, well, that doesn't make any sense. It would seem like the purpose of getting to know each other is to see if y'all compatible or have anything in common or have the same goals, aspirations, ambitions. But if they ask you what you like so they can conform to that or shape a perception around your thoughts, ideas, that's fake. That's perpetrating the fraud. So that doesn't make any sense, to ask a question like that. So let's keep it moving. And if next thing is, if a woman talks about her exes, talking about how bad they are, and how bad she got treated, and what I mean, that she kind of bashed them and make it seem like she's self-righteous, like she never done anything wrong in the relationships with her exes. If a woman does that, that's a big red flag because she thinks that somehow, you know, she doesn't want to be accountable for her actions. Doesn't want to take responsibility. She thinks that she can't do no wrong if she doesn't, you know, take responsibility for her own actions. If she acts like the exes are some of the worst guys she ever met in her life. So if that happens, don't walk, run. And if she's the next thing, if she says she don't need a man, she probably more than likely she's probably one of those quote independent thinking chicks, you know, that feel like just because she got a decent paying job, she got a car, a house, and everything's on credit, that somehow she doesn't need a man. That somehow, she's better than a man and on some levels. Now, being independent is a state of mind. And just because you're independent, this is how a lot of people take the word independent out of context. Being independent is a state of mind. Just because you're independent, that doesn't mean you shouldn't have a man. I always thought that was kind of weird. How they just take one word out of context like that and just run with it. And everyone just jump on board like sheep. But you gotta realize it's unnatural to be without a man or a woman. I mean, I hear some guys say, "Hey, I'm gonna just go my own way." Well, you should have been going your own way from the get-go. And I mean, what's going your own way really mean for some of these guys? I mean, going your own way for me means living the life you want on your own terms without having to sacrifice who you are as a man or a woman. I mean, being around the people that you like, love, and trust, and without sacrificing who you are as a person. I mean, you got some of these guys that, I think MGTOW, that say they act like they don't want to be around a woman at all. I mean, so I'm like, well, you gonna go get a prostitute? I mean, that's crazy. I mean, okay, you can go get a prostitute, but I'm not going to get no prostitute. I'm sorry. But anyways, if a woman says that, just keep it moving. And last but not least, if a woman says she's a feminist, oh boy, don't walk, run like hell. Because that state of mind from I've met women that were so-called feminists. I met black women and white women. And this is one thing. Now, a lot of these white feminists that I've met, they seem to want to destroy and take over everything. They want to destroy the traditional relationships the way it is, and do what they want, say what they want, when they want, how they want, without being judged or losing any of their privileges. They just want power. That's what they want. Now you got the non-white feminists, which could be black women, Asian women, Hispanic speaking women. It seems to me that they're kind of on the outside. looking in. It seems like to me that they're being used in certain situations. And if you ask a lot of these women what they've accomplished since being a feminist, they aren't going to be able to give you an answer. A lot of these women, this is just my opinion, a lot of these non-white feminists, I think they just want to be closer to white guys. I think they want to date white guys. That's just what I've been observing over the years. I think a lot of the non-white feminists just want to date white guys. They just want to get closer to white guys. They want to get into those circles. That's what I think. That's what I've seen. You know, so I think they're camouflage as feminists, you know, in a way to get closer to white guys so they can date them. So they'll move to places. They'll move to the big cities like Atlanta, New York, L.A., Chicago, all in the Bay Area. They'll be all in in those areas. You know, whereas everything is kind of liberal. Places like Seattle, they'll be in those areas and they'll claim they're feminists, but the reality is they're not really down with all that, the feminist ideology. They just want to be able to date and get closer to white guys. That's what I've seen over the past, 15 years. And last but not least, this is a bonus. The woman that you have to be careful of is you got a lot of butt kissing women out here, ass kissing women out here, and you know what I'm talking about. You got these women out here. There's a lot of them that don't stand for anything, and you know a woman that's like this. You know, they butt kissers. They'll, you know, if you have any type of social problems or legal problems between people, or if you have to go to court for anything, a lot of these women will swear that you've done something wrong. They'll say, well, whatever happened to you, whatever problems or troubles or legal problems you might have, they'll swear that you deserve it. You know, they'll swear that you did not get mistreated. What happened to you, it happened to you because you didn't do what you were told. So you got a bunch of butt kissing, ass kissing women out here that don't stand for anything. And it's very dangerous to be around these types of women. Because if you're out in public with these types of women that don't stand for anything, that don't really got your back, that don't really have your best interest, you don't know what they're going to do. So it's in your best interest, if you meet a woman that's a butt kisser, that don't stand for anything, get away from women that's like this. Look, you don't have time. You only have one life to live. You really don't have time to be around women or anybody that don't have your best interest. I mean, I'm serious. I've seen people I've seen people go to jail because they was with a butt kissing woman that just wanted to volunteer information that was in return used against the dude, and the information, it wasn't necessarily anything illegal, but you have to understand, when you go to court, they can use any information against you. They can use pictures against you. They can use videos against you. They can use almost anything against you, whether it's written or spoken or whatever. They can spin information and use it against you. And this is why a lot of people go to jail. Because this is why you should keep your damn mouth shut. If you got a woman, you should tell her in certain situations, keep your damn mouth shut. Don't say nothing, because whatever you say can be used against you in a court of law. You know, so a lot of women don't understand this. You know, they start volunteering information without even being asked any questions. And this is how a lot of guys end up in jail. And nobody's talking about this. This is how a large percentage of guys end up in jail. Because of that butt-kissing woman that they've had, that they lived with or been hanging around with for a long period of time. So you just got to be careful out here, man. You know, you got to be careful. So those are my 7 deal breakers with women, plus the bonus. So if you like what you heard, subscribe to my channel. Check out my website, chooseyourrelationships.com. Go get the gear along with the cup. Hopefully you can see this, the Wizard of Game cup. And share this video with anybody that you think would see it as of value. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.